Hi, I'm Frank Coel. I'm excited to share this clip with you from a content marketing bootcamp that I ran recently. This clip is on campaign development. I'm going to walk you through the strategic development of a content marketing campaign and how you put it together in a way that is designed to drive results, measurable results for your organization. Check it out and let me know what you think. We're going to talk about how we now actually develop all the elements of your campaign. So today might be, if yesterday was a little uncomfortable in that maybe some of the things you didn't think about before, today might be a little uncomfortable if you're not used to doing a lot of writing. So today we're going to do a lot of writing, but what I don't want you to get hung up on is the fact that if you're not a copywriter and this is not what you do on a day-to-day basis, that's okay. The idea is you want to start getting the ideas down so now you'll have a framework to go back to work and start developing out this content, okay? So let's revisit our marketing funnel and look at the stages we're going to take people through. And what we need to do now is we now need to build out the assets to support this kind of campaign, okay? And so we're going to talk about things about the blog and the lead magnet and the emails and how you build out the landing pages for these things and so on. Here are the core building blocks that we're going to work on. Now you can do a lot more than this, but to get the basic campaign going, these are the basic building blocks. It's made up of blog posts. Everyone knows what that is, right? CTAs, everyone knows what a CTA is, right? So when you're reading a blog post, embedded in the article or sitting next to the article or both would be some sort of call to action that says, you're reading about topic X, get our free resource on topic X, right? Something highly related to what you're reading, something valuable that you can download or access. One of the examples we had yesterday was how to budget for content marketing. By the way, access our free content marketing ROI calculator. So highly related, and that becomes the lead magnet. Landing pages. So landing pages are the web pages where you fulfill your lead magnet. Okay, that's the page that describes the lead magnet, which is what your CTA led to, describes a lead magnet and has a small form for the user to fill out to then gain access to the thing you're offering. Make sense? We're on the same page? And then after that happens, there are follow-up emails. Hey, thanks for downloading that. Here's a link to it. Here's the thing you requested. And then a series of emails after that that engage them to give them more value and hopefully push them closer to the next level engagement. So those are the basic building blocks. That's what we're going to go over today. What I want to do next is actually want to walk through a live example of all that. So this would be the first point of entry in our funnel. If we were to look at that linear funnel, this would be a blog article that we have on our website. And this is a blog article that performs really well for us. And what I mean by that is it gets decent sharing, there's good readership on it, but more importantly, we get good click-throughs on our CTA. Okay, on our lead magnet that's associated with this. So by that, it's a good article. It performs well. If we notice, as we go through this article, we have here a graphical call to action. And as we scroll through the article, we have links to other articles. And then partway through it, we have photos to help tell the story. And then partway through, we have here an inline call to action that's more text-based. It's more text-looking. In fact, in the marketing world, does anyone know what this style of call to action is called? This is called, in this particular format where there's a kind of a highlighted box, this is called a Johnson box. It was after a very famous copywriter, I don't remember his first name, his last name was Johnson, and when he did he was one of the direct mail, direct response copywriting gurus, he found this was a technique that really helped conversion and response. And so the Johnson box is still a very tried and true way to implement CTAs. In fact, HubSpot has an article that they put out, which was interesting because when we first teamed up with HubSpot a couple of years ago, part of the training and education was graphical CTA at the bottom of every article. That was like the thing they were pushing. Well, even HubSpot continues to learn and be smart about this stuff. They're probably one of the best marketing departments in the world, right? Especially from that digital standpoint. And so a recent article they put out is, surprise, most of our CTA clicks come from inline CTAs that are in the body, not necessarily the graphical CTA. I believe, what was the article? It was like something like 5% of all the CTAs or 10% of all the CTAs come from the graphical, and the other 80 to 90 come from the inline. Yeah, it was pretty eye-opening. I don't know if you saw that article on your guys' blog, but that was pretty interesting. So then Jenna and team, we went back through a lot of our articles and our clients' articles, and we're, measuring that stuff and implementing. So you have two kinds of calls to action in this blog article. You've got your graphical and you've got your Johnson box. You can also just do what HubSpot calls anchor text, which means in that very same spot we can just put related, or you should also check out, and then in bigger text, and maybe it's bold and the color's different, and that also goes to the same place. Here with the Johnson box, we're able to put a little more copy around it, which says, hey, be sure to grab your free copy of our inbound marketing checklist, which will help you transform your content marketing with an inbound marketing approach. Okay? And so you can click on that and go to the lead magnet. Okay. The other thing that we're not talking about today, I'm not going to go in a ton of detail, is usually somewhere in your blog, if you have some sort of sign up or subscription thing, so people can sign up on your list and get regular announcements of new blog posts, you can do that. It's not a big part of what we're going to talk about today, but that's certainly a strategy you can employ. The key thing we're talking about, though, is this call to action. So I'm a reader, and I'm looking at this, and this interests me, and the call to action interests me. If I were to click on that, what ends up happening is I go to a landing page. So earlier when I talked about a landing page, and it's a spot where you fulfill the lead magnet, this is what that looks like. So let me point out a few elements for you. So one of the things that we don't do a good job of in my own example here is we don't do a good job of having a market call out with this landing page. So a market call out would be something like attention marketing VPs or attention CMOs, right? Or CMOs, if you're trying to improve your content marketing, that would be a market call out. Or if we said, if you're a restaurant looking to improve your brand image, that would be a market call out, okay? So this here is just a list you guys can reference to make sure that your landing page is a high quality landing page. But on this page, I'll point out a couple of real obvious elements that you guys will want to take notes on. Okay, first of all, you noticed that we're very void of navigation on this page, right? There are no home, about us, contact us. A landing page has one point and one point only, to convert people on that lead magnet, on that offer. Okay, that's the main goal. So there is no navigation. In fact, the quintessential hyperlinking of the logo to the home page, that's not even hyperlinked either. Okay, we don't want anybody on this page to do anything else but fill out that form and download that thing. Okay, so that's one of the elements you want to look at, very minimal navigation. We also have a title and a subtitle, so it's very clear as to what this is and the value we're going to bring. That's supported by a few bullets of benefit-driven kind of language. And if you notice, what we're doing is we're bolding the stuff that's of value in those bulleted statements, right? Who you should be targeting, accurately measure campaign performance, and so on. Another element you want to pay attention to is you have social sharing down here. You can play with that as far as placement, but again, keep in mind, the goal is to actually get them to fill it out first. You would love for them to share it, but if they're here, you want them to fill this form out. At the top over here, we have some sort of visual element that kind of lets people know what they're getting. It's some sort of identifier. So if you have a sample box you're sending, then it might be a picture of the sample box. If it's a guide or checklist like here, it looks like a physical guide. If it's a book, then maybe it's the picture of the book. Okay? So some sort of image that demonstrates what they're actually getting. And then finally, you have your form. Now, ideally, you want to keep your forms as short as possible. At Elevator, we probably err on the long side for a lead generation, an initial lead generation, lead magnet type of piece. And we're constantly testing that and playing with that. We'll have first name, last name. Sometimes we'll just do first name. And so we're constantly playing with that. So the balance for us is, if we shorten the form field length and we get more leads in, we actually might get more unqualified leads. So we play with that form length kind of as a filter, a psychological filter, to help us make sure we're getting the kind of leads we want. A couple of the questions we ask on this form in our business, and this is something you'll want to define in your business, what are the additional questions that will help us understand who this person is, what stage are they at, what persona are they? So you may have a drop down that says, I am a, and I'm going to keep using the restaurant example since it's fresh on my mind. I am a restaurant owner looking to improve my brand. I am an executive chef looking to, I am a facilities manager, right? So this way you can understand who you're dealing with and who this person is. But very few form fields is what you're after. In many cases, what's recommended in the industry is sometimes just email address. Now, in my business, I don't like that because I really need to filter out who comes in, because we have a lot of people who follow us that are students, other marketers, other agencies, right? So I don't want all those people in my database. So I kind of err on adding a little bit more. And again, we constantly play with that. Another technique that we're going to play with soon is splitting that up into two parts. So you fill out just a couple of pieces, and then there's another step where we'd say, hey, tell us a little bit more about yourself. And so that's another strategy you can do there. But the idea is very few form fields, okay? If you have a very good content management system that runs your main website, then you can just have a template put into that CMS, content management system, that is a landing page template. So every time you want to deploy a landing page, you've got it right there in your CMS. It's good to go. Now, regarding the form, there's a couple of ways to do that as well. So depending on your content management system, you might have a form tool that you can embed on pages. For example, if you use WordPress, which is a common kind of for small to mid-sized organizations, they have a plugin called Gravity Forms. In Gravity Forms, you can create all kinds of forms and then just throw them on certain pages. So now if your team gives you a landing page template in your WordPress and you have Gravity Forms, you can pop up these landing pages real easy. So that's one way to do it, is right within your CMS. If you don't have any sort of marketing tools that you're subscribing to, if you don't have a HubSpot, for example, then yes, do that. Okay, so now I'm on this page, right? I'm a reader, I've clicked through, this interests me. I'm aiming for, and we're going to cover this later, I'm aiming for 30 to 50% conversion on this. So between a combination of this, and anywhere else within this article, we have a CTA to that landing page, we want a total of 5 to 10% clicks into that landing page. Does that make sense? That's our goal. And then once we're on the landing page, your goal is to have a 30 to 50% submission rate on this page. Okay? So I'm on this page, I fill it out, what happens next? Well, I see what's called, HubSpot calls them the thank you page. I don't like that. I call them a congrats page, because if you're giving value, they should be thanking you, right? So this is the thank you page. And so this is where you fulfill your offer. Like, here's your download. If you were to click download now, that's the PDF right there. But we do follow up with an email. And that's why I was saying one of the strategies we're going to start testing and playing with is not making the download available on this page, but hey, check your email. We just sent it to you. And there's a video with more of me as a way to continue to introduce me as the brand and get connected with them, which is another thing. In the emails I'm going to show you, it's largely my team that's in the responses. That's changing. It's going to be me in the funnel, because one of the things that we're analyzing in looking at other marketers that do this is the personality of the brand needs to also be in the funnel to continue to create that engagement and impact. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be the one to always follow up and work with prospects individually. Then I can introduce them to my team when they're ready, right? So those are the kinds of things you have to look at, is like, who's the face of the brand that this communication is coming from? Who's the best contact, and who's best to really engage that person and get them interested? Thanks for watching. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below. And also in the description, we have a link to some free resources based on this Content Marketing Bootcamp that we ran. So if you want to learn more and get access to those assets that we delivered in the Content Marketing Bootcamp, go to the link below, fill out the form, and we'll send it off to you. Thanks again.